Next at 4, you are looking at students across the country and across Metro Detroit making their voices heard. National Walkout Day saw tens of thousands of students demand action on gun violence. It's being called one of the biggest student protests since the Vietnam era, as a new generation flexes its muscle in the court of public opinion. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. A busy news day. The walkout didn't take long, but its impact could have ripple effects for years as a turning point in the debate over gun control. Students walked out or left class for 17 minutes to honor the 17 victims in the Parkland, Florida school shooting. Our Sandra Ali joins us now from Cass Tech in Detroit with a look at the local protests. And Sandra, you were outside of Cass Tech as those students walked out. What was the mood?
Well, hey there, Karen. Good afternoon to you. I got to tell you, the mood out here this morning was very energized. You could feel the students' passion. It's obvious how they feel about this cause. And I got to tell you, at times, it also got extremely emotional.
What do we want? Gun control! When do we want it? Now!
When thousands of students walked out of school this morning at Cass Tech in Detroit, many of them chose to wear orange, the color symbolic of the gun control movement.
We are walking out protesting gun violence and requesting gun control. We are making sure that our politicians hear our voices.
Gun control! Now! Gun control! Now!
My students are standing up to the plate. They're being the leaders that they are, and I couldn't be more proud of them. So we're standing for them.
Hey, hey! No way! Say no to the NRA!
Across town at Fordson High School in Dearborn, students observed moments of silence and used red roses as their way to honor victims of recent gun violence.
We want change! We want change!
Chanting, "We want change," several hundred students marched outside of Berkeley High School. They say they did it simply because they're fed up.
As everyone says, it's never going to happen to me. We live in a good town, so it can't happen to us. But when you look at all the shootings that have happened, they're always in good schools. And I can't expect not for it to be us.
And that young lady you just heard from there, she's a student at Berkeley High School. At last check, Berkeley High School had roughly about 500 students participating today, which is roughly about half of their entire population. At last check here at Cass Tech, they had a little more than 2,400 people marching today this morning, but that also included faculty members, administrators, the principal as well. So they had some other folks joining them during their march this morning, Karen.
A pretty smooth protest, Sandra, in terms of no violence, no fights. What were you hearing?
Right, absolutely. No violence, no fights. Detroit police were out here this morning. They had several streets blocked off as well. They were out here just trying to maintain the peace, trying to make sure everything went smoothly, and they didn't have any issues whatsoever.
All right, Sandra, we'll check back with you at 5 o'clock.